Today's Mercedes-Benz interview of the day brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes. They have a SUV for you, whether it's the stylish GLC, the compact GLA, the three-row GLS, or the GLE, GLS plug-in hybrids. Visit MBUSA.com for special offers. Jimmy Fallon, host of The Tonight Show. Look who's turning 50 years of age. How is that possible? Are you taking whatever Paul Rudd is taking or Jason Bateman?
Yeah, no, I'm starting to feel it, bud. It's happening. It's 50's coming. It's here.
Okay, and you get to be 50, you start playing a little more golf. Maybe you're not doing as much work. Maybe you want to slow down a little bit. Now you're out there, with this grudge match with DJ Khaled. How'd this come about?
I just thought I followed DJ Khaled on all the socials and the Instagrams and stuff. And so I'm looking at, he keeps posting these photos of him playing golf, and he looked like he'd be fun to play with. He also looked like someone I could beat. I'm not that good.
Yeah. How often do you play?
I mean, I'm East Coast, so I'd say probably, I'm not kidding, 5 to 10 times a year.
It looks like he plays a whole lot more than that, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think he lives on a golf course.
Did you think about putting money up other than somebody gets a nice cardigan? Like, make it interesting where, as Tiger Woods once said to me when I said, I'd like to play in golf, what are we playing for? He said, whatever makes you nervous.
Oh, my gosh. Can I tell you, though, how nervous I actually did get? Because, obviously, I'm doing this to be fun and to make a funny thing. But we had a real PGA official. We play 4 holes. We're at in Lake Tahoe, so we're after we had the cameras stay after the American Century Championship. We asked NBC to do us a favor. This whole thing came about in like 2 weeks. But when you get up to the 17th hole, it's a par 3, and there's 5,000 people screaming. And then when you're about to swing, they're quiet. And it's the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, I'm a comedian. I don't do that. I felt like an athlete. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the pressure, man. And so when you see the first shot, I don't want to spoil it, but it's something so ridiculous. It feels like something you'd see in a movie.
Well, as a comedian, the last thing you want to hear is silence. Like you're right.
Completely. I was running around trying to hype everyone up. You know what's funny? We were talking to. I sent DJ Khaled a text and I said, "Hey, dude, you just look like you'd be fun to play with. Maybe I could challenge you on the show, and we'll do something." And he goes, "Yeah, maybe I'd be down with that. I just gotta check my schedule." And then I just challenged him on the show for real. And I said the winner will get, instead of a green blazer like the Masters blazer, gets a red cardigan sweater.
Okay.
And we really hype it up, and that'll be the gift that the winner gets. So I challenged him on the show live, and the next day he happened to be in New York, and he came on the show and accepted. And then we called NBC and we were like, well, how can we do this? And they're like, you can't just air an 18-hole match. Can you play? I go, not really. I mean, I'd say I'm double bogey golf. I don't know if you want to. He goes, no one wants to watch that for 5 hours. It's boring. So I go, well, let's think of another way to do it. So it's 4 holes. There's a breakfast ball. There's 1 mulligan, and it's silly, but we play by the rules, and it's actually fascinating television. I loved it.
Is there drinking involved?
Not for me, there wasn't, but for that crowd in Tahoe, oh yeah, oh my goodness, dude. I was like, Dan, I gotta get out of here, dude. It was really. Maybe I would say 5,000 to 10,000 people. I'll go nuts.
You can see it coming up Friday. So this Friday, it'll be 11:35 Eastern. So normally when you watch The Tonight Show with Jimmy, you'll be able to see the 4-hole match.
I think if you're a sports bar, you should have a full-on raging party this Friday night at your bar. And if you wear a cardigan into the bar, you get a drink special. Get one from your grandma. Get whatever you can get, a cardigan sweater. Go in and go, yeah, Jimmy said that there'll be a drink special tonight if I wore a cardigan. It's because when are you going to see a live, an unaired sporting event at, Friday night, this Friday at 11:30 at night? That's perfect bar time.
Who's easier to interview if I said musicians, actors, athletes?
I would say athletes number 3, definitely. I'd say probably actors. Actors number one, then musicians, then athletes. I feel like athletes are tougher because they've trained their whole life to be an athlete, not really talk. It's not a gift that they train for. So it's kind of they have great stories, but they're not really media trained. Where actors are and musicians. I think my favorite is comedians, just because that's where I got my start, and I get to goof off with all those guys like Will Ferrell. I can send him an idea. He won't even read it, and he'll just say yes. I go, no, you should read it first, Will. He's like, no, I trust you. I go, I have you dressed as Little Debbie. He's like, yeah, no, I love it. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But I'm fascinated by all of them. I'm interested in everybody I have on. I once had Drew Brees on the show, and he was great. And we did a game where we were throwing footballs and breaking plates. Okay, very high quality television. And he was playing against Taylor Lautner, who's a great actor in all the Twilight movies. And so I picked up a plate and I threw it up, and Drew Brees threw it and he missed. And then I threw a plate up and Taylor Lautner hit one. So now it's 1-0 Taylor Lautner. Second one I throw up, Taylor Lautner hits his second plate. If he hits one more, he wins. All of a sudden, Drew Brees stops having fun.
Oh,
he goes into this.
Yes.
He goes into this mode. Laser eyes came out of his. He was like jumping up and down, and it was like not fun anymore. He was throwing. Before I let go of the plate, it was disintegrating in my hand. He was like, "I'm not losing to this actor."
Well, I experienced that firsthand in Tahoe, of all places. I'm playing golf with him in the Century tournament. Yeah. I'd made back-to-back birdies. I'm on the fringe of the green with a chance for 3 in a row. He walks by me as I'm getting ready to putt, and he says, I can't believe that you could possibly have 3 birdies in a row. Like, with such disdain for me. We got done
right
with the round, Jimmy, and he was so upset with his round. He parred the par 5 last hole, and he walked off the green. He didn't shake my hand or Ben Roethlisberger's hand. He was so upset. And I see him the next day, and I'm like, oh, my God. The last guy I want to run into is Drew Brees. And I'm on the range, and my caddy goes, here he comes. I go, oh, my God. He walks by, and he goes, hey, Dan, how you doing? I go, good. It doesn't even say anything about yesterday.
Yeah,
and
I didn't bring it up.
No, he did that whole locked in, laser focused. Didn't even shake Ben Roethlisberger's hand.
These athletes don't like to lose. I remember beating Tiger Woods at a video game of his own game. Yeah. And who cares? I mean, it's a video game. So clearly, you're Tiger Woods. He got so mad. And I go, hey, Tiger, if you hold it was a Nintendo Wii. I said, if you hold the button down and shake it, it gives you backspin. He goes, don't tell me how to play my game. Like, dude, it's this whole thing's a joke. What are you doing? But when you see this thing Friday night, it is it's so silly, but it's funny, but it's real. We have a PGA official, so it's all by the rules. It starts raining. There's thunder and lightning. It's honestly the most everything that could happen happened. I couldn't have written it better. And he's a great guy to play with.
Are you still a Jets fan?
Yeah, I am. It's kind of that thing where you just kind of almost, I don't know. It's not giving up. It's just you go, there's other things in life I can do. I can do others. I can watercolor paint. I can do anything. I just don't. Why do it to yourself? And then I'll find myself rooting for the Giants too, just because they're New Yorkers and they come on the show all the time. And Strahan will get mad if I don't. So, but yeah, I thought for a second, I think a lot of Jets fans for a second go, could be. We do it every year.
I know.
Why would we even say that to each other? Why would we say this could be? Don't say it. Of course, it's not the year.
If you could only watch one of your Saturday Night Live skits, or you wanted your grandkids to see your Saturday night, like the one that you go, that's it.
Oh, I mean, it's probably would have to be Cowbell or with Will or my favorite one was Mick Jagger. I did a thing with Mick Jagger. He was on the show, and the Rolling Stones were on the show, and Mick wanted to do a sketch, and so Lauren goes, go pitch a sketch to Mick. And I go, if you want to, I go, I'm not talking to Mick Jagger. I'm afraid I can't. You talk to him. He goes, no, he's cool. Go talk to him. So I wrote down all these ideas. I go, Mick, I have this idea where me and you are work at a sunglass hut or something. He's like, no, not that. He's very, very, very nice to me, very, very patient. And he goes, no, not that. And so before the meeting, I said to Lauren, maybe I'll do an impression of Mick in the mirror. I'll be his reflection. Lauren goes, please don't do that. that's been done so many times. Please, Lucille Ball did it. Like, just don't do it, man. So anyway, so I'm running down these ideas. I go, how about this idea, Mick? Me and you're Keith, and I'm Keith, and he cloned himself so we can party with himself, whatever. And he goes like, not that. I go down like 10 ideas. I'm getting sweaty. I go, what if it's you in the mirror and you're like, why am I doing this show again? I've done it in the 70s, the 80s. What am I doing? What am I going to do? The rooster, what am I doing? And he goes, I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that. And so I had to go into Lauren's office and say, good news and bad news. Good news, he wants to do a sketch. Bad news, we're doing the reflection in the mirror. Then we wrote it on a Friday night, which is so rare. Usually you write on a Tuesday night. We wrote on a Friday night, got the set done. They made the best reflective set where everything's backwards in the mirror. And we rehearsed it once and did it on Saturday night, and the place erupted. It was I think it was, for me, it was a perfect sketch for me.
Let me see a little bit. You got a purple blouse on or something here.
Yeah. I'm wearing a purple. We're both wearing matching Mick Jagger purples, satin blouses, and we're like, "What you're going to the rooster? Go to the rooster! Come on, what are we gonna do? I'm pointing my finger at you. I'll keep pointing. What am I pointing at?" It just got out of control, and I was brand new on SNL, and I remember. He loved it so much that he put his hand through the mirror and shook my hand, and the place was shaking, and I was hot from all the applause. It was just really exciting moment for me because I'm just such a fan of his, and I love that sketch. Any of those ones where the place rocked, I'm very lucky to get those sketches.
But even the last year, it felt like on Saturday Night Live, everybody was intent on cracking you up. The goal was to make you not get through a skit.
It was painful, Dan. It was painful. Everybody, because they knew I'm an easy laugh. I just love. I'm a fan of comedy, and it's very unprofessional of me. But Will Ferrell we would do a sketch where we were in a hot tub together, and him and Rachel Dratch were this creepy couple that would get in the hot tub. At a hotel, there were those creepy couple that would get in, and he would eat like a duck leg or something, and he'd go like, "How are you?" And then every time I talked, his hand would pinch me under the water because he knew I would start laughing.
Oh, that's not in the script for him to do it. He just is pinching. Okay.
Yeah. And so he would do that, or Molly Shannon would do stuff she just knew would look at me and just make me laugh. And Tina Fey and they would crack me up. And I'm like, and Horatio Sands. And I would just get in trouble, and they didn't like it. I had one line in Cowbell, and Will Ferrell and Chris push each other, and Will's wearing a shirt where his gut's hanging out the bottom and his glasses fall off, and he looked like an insane man. And I had my one line and I flubbed it, and then everyone was mad at me. It's like they wouldn't put me in sketches. I got in trouble.
He's Jimmy Fallon, The Tonight Show, coming up this Friday, 11:35 p.m. Eastern on NBC. It's the big showdown that everybody's talking about. It's the Cardigan Classic with DJ Khaled, and there's a little bit of everything in there. A little bit of everything.
It's really fun, but it's a good hour, and it flies by quickly. It also repeats on Peacock the next day, and then Golf Channel on Monday night.
Good to talk to you, Jimmy. Thanks for joining us.
You're the best, bud. Always good to talk to you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me on. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
It's Jimmy Fallon. Now, a few years ago, I was on Fallon, and Paulie went with me, and we're in the green room, and Jimmy always comes by and says hello to who's ever going to be on the show. And so it's seconds before he's going to go out and do his monologue. And he walks in, he goes, everything okay? I mean, is it good? Just tell me, need anything? You let me know. I'm excited to have you. And then I'm going, oh, okay, stopping by, a little bit before he goes on the show. He walks out of my dressing room, and then 6 seconds later, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon, and I'm like, he was just here 6 seconds ago. He just cool, calm, collected, had the Roots there as his house band. So, and I think his show just got extended a few more years. I think they just announced that. All right.